Dubai, the pearl of the Gulf, with a global reputation for creating the biggest and the best in everything it does. The 2017 Standard Chartered Dubai Marathon was no different. This year brought about the 18th edition, and with it over 300,000 participants from around the world, all of them lacing their running shoes to take part in the world's richest marathon. This year was yet another example of the important role that the marathon plays in Dubai and the support it garners from the community.
We believe in the Dubai Marathon as one of the leading events. We see the numbers are increasing every year, which is for us the perfect example to follow.
This Friday, there's going to be 30,000 people. I've seen tremendous growth even in the almost 20 years that I've been coming here. Statistics alone tell you exactly how big the success has been and the growth of the marathon. Then the fact now that Dubai Holdings came in almost a decade ago offering huge prize money. So the race is firmly established as one of the fastest and one of the biggest prize money races on the planet.
Well, we've been supporting the event for the past 11 years now, and for us it's one of the flagship events part of our corporate wellness programs.
The engagement of the community and family into this will allow more and more growth of sport lifestyle.
The Dubai Marathon is a perfect platform to get out of your comfort zone and to try something new and just to move a little bit more.
And of all the elite athletes in this year's race, one name stood out: Kenenisa Bekele, the 5,000 and 10,000 meters world record holder. The Ethiopian also holds the second fastest marathon ever recorded, with a stunning time of 2 hours, 3 minutes and 3 seconds set in Berlin last year. And this year in Dubai, he was looking to go one better and become the first man in history to hold the 5K, 10K and marathon world records all at the same time.
I'm very happy to come back for Dubai Marathon. 2 years ago, I was injured. I couldn't finish the race, so I come back again, after 2 years. After my injury finished, so I'm very happy to be here, part of the Dubai Marathon.
There is a lot of expectations for Kenenisa Bekele to break the world record.
The Dubai course known as flat and fast course as Berlin, so I will expect something, on Friday. I'm very happy, if I set record here. I'm really glad about it.
He'd be the world record holder for the 5,000 and 10,000 meters on the track and the marathon, which is unprecedented.
In the female race, Bekele's compatriot Shur Demise shared a similar intent in 2017. Having broken the junior world record at the 2015 Dubai Marathon, Demise was now using her male counterparts as the yardsticks to measure her achievements.
ትንሽ ነው ወደታች የሚቀረው እንጂ ከወንዶች እኩል ነው የምንሰራ። እነሱ ሰዓትና የኛ ሰዓት አንድ ነው። እዛ የኛ ሰዓትና የነሱ ሰዓት እዛ እነሱ አሁን ኪሎ ሜትር ትንሽ እኛን ከበለጡ ነው እንጂ ከነሱ እኩል ስለምንሰራ ጥሩ ሰዓትም ለዛ ነው የምንሮጠው። አንድ ነው ወንድ የሚሰራ ትሬኒንግ እና ሴት የሚሰራ ትሬኒንግ አሁን አንድ ሆኗል። ለዛ ነው አሪፍ ሰዓት የምንሮጠው። እግዚአብሔር ከረዳኝ እኔ አሸንፋለሁ ብዬ ሰርቻለሁ። እግዚአብሔር ከረዳኝ አሸንፋለሁ። ጥሩ ሰዓትም ማሮጥ እፈልጋለሁ።
While the elite runners category was dominated by the Ethiopians, the wheelchair race had a much more international field.
When I was injured back in 2006, I was very ignorant towards disability. I literally thought people were born in wheelchairs. I didn't realise you could have an injury and end up in a chair.
Well, I see having cancer as an infant and being partially paralyzed and in a wheelchair as a tremendous blessing because it taught me so many things at such an early age. It taught me how to adapt to overcome physical obstacles, which I applied to the rest of my life.
The race is flat.
There's no hills, there's no bends.
This I can see is a fantastic course.
If you was going for a personal best, which myself and the racers are, you won't find a better course than Dubai.
I think it's possible broken the world record.
John Boy's been working hard and coming up very strong.
Anybody will do anything to win.
I think it's possible fighting for the victory.
When you go overcome incredible obstacles to achieve something, you know, it's really something that you can be proud of.
If someone could look at me and say, I get out of bed in the morning because of you, you inspire me, then I've done my job.
The belief that you can do what you want to do in your life if you work hard and you're passionate and you put in the time.
For able-bodied, disabled, adults, youngsters, that's the sole reason I do it in the first place.
And with the wheelchair athletes first to set out, we turn to the commentary team.
A very warm welcome to our coverage of the Standard Chartered Dubai Marathon 2017. I'm Trevor Harris, alongside veteran and highly experienced athletics journalist Pat Butcher. The weather conditions, it's 6:30 just coming up local time as we see the wheelchair racers on the start line. Around about 20 degrees. Just a slight breeze, pretty much perfect, Pat, in terms of weather for marathon running. Well, the wheelchair race, as you can see, underway. It's a small field, but it's a quality one, and we'll keep you in touch with events in the wheelchair race as we go through. Let's check out the main marathon course, though. They head off in the same direction as last year, if you were watching our coverage, onto Al Sufa Road. They run past the Dubai College Junction, past the entrance to Palm Island, and then they make a U-turn at the one and only Mirage Hotel. There it is. And then it's onto the Jumeirah Beach Road. You can see the kilometre marks there which tell you how far they are on the course. And this is quite unusual in marathon courses, Pat. It's pretty much a straight road, straight out and back.
Yes, it is quite unusual from that perspective, Trevor. I mean, most marathons are a circuit, effectively, you know, a round course. But here it's one of the few which is effectively an out and back. There is something of a circuit when they start and when they finish, but that long stretch up and down the beach road. It's what makes it such a fast course, essentially, because it's absolutely dead flat. It's just like a racetrack.
And when they pass the Burj Al Arab again, they're nearly home. A left turn, and then it's 500 metres to the finish, just before the Dubai Police Academy. So just seconds away then from the start of the marathon. There we go. 2 hours or so ahead of them. And of course we've got all the non-elite runners following on behind. They've all got their own personal goals, but we of course will be concentrating on the elites. It's around about 30,000 competitors in total if you add in the 10k run, the 3k run, which is the fun run. And it's built up magnificently when you think that this is the 18th edition, started back in the year 2000, and there were fewer than 2,000. And now that number's around the 30,000 mark. So you've got to say huge kudos to the way this event has developed through the years. So 35 minutes in, and the leading men, looks like they might have dropped a couple the last time we saw them. I'm sure there were more at the front there. Yeah, you can see that the chasing group in behind, a good 60-70 metres back from the leading group. And there's still, as you can see, some 12 seconds inside world record pace.
Well, the 11th K, Trevor, was dangerously close to 3 minutes, and here is Kenenisa. It doesn't look, I don't know, he keeps touching his left thigh, so I just hope there's not a problem there, as there was, as you mentioned, 2 years ago when he had to drop out at 30k.
Well, that would be a huge disappointment if it were the case. Let's hope that it's not an issue that's going to prevent him from at the very least finishing. But yeah, he is just holding that part of his leg on a relatively regular basis, just to check of the watch as well. Tola nearest the camera in the centre of your screen, so there is no Kenenisa Bekele in that group.
Mekkonen is still looking strong.
And Lemmer also. And Tamirat Tola too. Well, assuming Bekele is not injured, you know that some, if not all of his runners potentially could come back to him, although how much of a lead he could give the likes of Tsegay Mekkonen is is another question.
Well, I mean, on paper, he's a minute and a half faster, or close to a minute and a half faster, and he's, Bekele, that is, Kenenisa, is still operating at world record pace, so the suggestion is that this leading group have gone off too quickly.
Oh, there he is, running solo. Now, is that a problem at all in its own right, Pat, that he's running on his own now?
Well, when we were talking to him on Wednesday about how much the presence of Kipsang helped him towards that very quick time, he said yes, it did help him, and I don't know what he's pulling at his shorts there. I hope he's not indicating that he's got some sort of muscular problem.
As the elite marathon runners toiled, the wheelchair competitors were finishing, with Rafa Botelho of Spain victorious, following an intense battle with Patrick Monaghan of Ireland. Rafa capturing the win in a time of 1 hour, 31 minutes and 19 seconds.
I'm very happy. It's my first time in Dubai in the marathon. Today, very happy for me, for my family, sponsor. My first victory here. I won in Paris last week. I think I'm ready for this year for the big marathons. Come back to 2018 for I tried to another victory, but I think I arrived more stronger.
So we're past the hour mark now, so for the men, around about halfway through, these are the leading women.
And it's interesting that things haven't, temperature hasn't risen at all, although the sun has just risen over to the east of us. So hopefully that won't make too much of an impact. And this is a sub 2:20 time we're looking at here for the women. Oh
that
my
is
goodness me.
not what we wanted to see. Kenenisa clearly got a problem. It happened to him in 2015. What a huge disappointment this is. Just when it looked like he was starting to get back into contention, the pre-race favourite is not going to win here in Dubai. What a shame.
And he's not even going to finish by the looks of it, Trevor, so there's very much a Dubai curse on Kenenisa Bekele, dropped out here at 30k 2 years ago.
Sad scenes for the Ethiopian as he missed out yet again at the Dubai Marathon. However, a host of Bekele's compatriots were more than happy to take on the great man's running mantle.
Well, there's a lot of science about the physiology of Ethiopian athletes that makes them very strong, but also the altitude, Addis Ababa and the highlands of Ethiopia at over 2,000 metres. The diet as well, there's very good crops in certain regions of Ethiopia. All these things come together to make some of the best in the world.
I think the Ethiopian hold here is really strong. They've always been incredible runners. I look up to them. I'm in awe of them. To be able to run a race with them is amazing.
ጥሩ አሁን ኦክቶበር ላይ ለምንዘጋጀበት ውድድር ኢትዮጵያ ላይ ለዚህ ነው ወደ ዱባይ የሚሄዱ። ሌሎች ሀገር ደግሞ አዲስ አመት ነው እንደነ ኬንያ ምናምን ተወስዶ አዲስ አመት ስለሆነ በዚህ ሰዓት አይዘጋጁም። ለዚህ ነው ዱባይ ላይ የኢትዮጵያ አትሌቶች የሚበዙ እንጂ ሌላ ምስጢር ምንም የለም።
ሁሉም አሸንፋለሁ ብሎ ነው የሚመጣ። ከተሳካ ማንም ማሸነፍ ይፈልጋል። እኔም እንደዛ አስቤ ነው የሚመጣ።
It was another Ethiopian and a surprise contender in the form of Tamarat Tola, who left the competition trailing as he put himself on track for a new course record.
So those two have now reached the 30-kilometre mark. So as you say, just 12 k's left. And that's the end of the pacemaker. So now it's all down to Tamarat Tola.
And he's 1 second outside of the pace that Dennis Kimeto was running when he set the current world record.
And I guess as much as anything else, it's about concentration really now. Just don't make any mistakes, don't do anything silly. And in about half an hour and maybe 35 minutes time, we'll have a gold medal around your neck.
Well, and as you suggested, Lema has been passed by Wasihun, who was dropped a lot earlier, but he's hung in there. And as you can see there, that's suggesting that's a 4-second difference with Kimeto. We've gauged it as 1 second. That's Tola, of course, in the lead. Still looking good with 12k to go. But Wasihun is trying to ease away from Lemmer, who seems to be responding.
Lemmer just about sticking to him at the moment, and a bit further back we'll find the likes of Segai Mekinen. So an hour and a half gone in this 2017 Dubai Marathon, and we're going to get a somewhat surprise result in the men's race, partly because the big pre-race favourite Kenenisa Bekele had to drop out after about 20 k's with an injury. As we cross over to the leading women's group, and this is a much more difficult race to call. Obviously they're 2 or 3 kilometres behind the men in terms of where they are in the race, but plenty in with chances here.
Certainly a good race on here in the women's event. I mean, Tola well away in the men's. He'd have to drastically fall apart to lose this race now, whereas the women's race, it looks to be any one of half a dozen could win this.
Yeah, well, I was mentioning earlier, Rosa Dereje, the surprise winner in Shanghai, she's still up there.
And there's Melkamo right in the middle of that pack, probably the tallest of that group. She's still looking pretty good. She was a great track and cross country runner too, incidentally. We're talking about Tola's 10,000 metres track pedigree until just this year, and that sensational Olympic run in the women's 10,000 metres until Rio. Melkamo had been the African record holder for 10,000 metres for about 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, isn't she? I think she's one of only 5 women who've ever broken the 30-minute barrier for 10,000 metres. So now we're back with Temmeret Tola, who's leading the men's race by a considerable margin, and that personal best that he set here, he ought to break with ease today.
Well, I'm really looking forward to the 35k time, and that is going to be a great indicator. As you said earlier, it is a race to lose, and he certainly doesn't look in any great discomfort. Well, anything more than you would have having already run about 33 kilometres.
In the women's race, debutant Worknesh Degefo is having a similar impact as she moved away from Shura Demise and the rest of the chasing pack.
Well, there's your debutante, Trevor. Looks as if she's on her way to victory too.
Yeah, this is an incredibly impressive performance from Degefo on debut. Obviously they're 2 or 3 k's behind the men, but even so, it looks like she's got a decent cushion there. Well, that shows you, doesn't it? That's a big gap.
And once you drop off at this stage of the race, it's 9 times out of 10 you won't get back to the leader unless something drastic happens to that leader.
The course record, 2:04.23, is going to absolutely smash his personal best. That is for sure. 2:06.17, so as Pat was saying, he's going to take a couple of minutes off that. But the only remaining question is, can he finish in the next minute or so and beat the course record? He certainly won't be short of support when he gets near that finish line, because the Ethiopian fans in full voice. That grandstand is absolutely packed. There is literally no room in it. They're all waving flags. They've got the balloons and the scarves, and this is why Tola coming home on his own to claim victory in the 2017 Standard Chartered Dubai Marathon. He's still got about half a minute on hand if he can break the course record. For the first time straining, just trying to get over that line in the best possible time. And the course record has gone. And he's smashed his personal best by more than 2 minutes. Fabulous run from Tola.
Well, an unofficial time, Trevor, of 2:04.11. We'll update you on that one. So a good dozen seconds off the course record. Terrific run by Tola.
And the winning margin is more than 2 minutes. Tola has absolutely destroyed the field. He's run well here before. But he's nowhere on the podium. And that's all going to change. Moulay Wazihan, the 23-year-old takes second, just in time, 2 hours and 7 minutes. Lemma looks safely home in third. So he's been fifth in 2015, fourth in 2016, and symmetrically he's going to finish third in 2017. Over the line he goes, just ahead of Jigsaw, and then there's a huge gap back to the rest.
Dubai is very good. The time is also come. The race is also good. Happy for this race because this is the second time for me.
She's always been up in that lead pack, broke away, and they have not been able to live with her. The Ethiopian has been superb. Worknesh Digifa wins her first ever marathon at the first attempt. Just over 2:22 and a half. There's the smile. And Demise looks like she's going to hang on for silver, and she just had an anxious look back, but she's got a clear breathing space between her and Yebregwal in third. So Demise takes second. Looks like she's more than happy with that. And just behind her, Elise comes in for third place. Well, fabulous performance.
ይሄ በመጀመሪያ ስለሆነ ለማሸነፌ በጣም ደስ ብሎኛል። የኛውን ሰዓትም ለማሮጤ በጣም ደስተኛ ነኝ። እዚህ ለምኖሩት ኢትዮጵያውያኖች ደግሞ እንኳን ለባህረ ጥምቀቱ በሰላም አደረሳችሁ እላለሁ።
So a marathon full of surprises. Tamarat Tola breaking the men's course record and debutant Worknesh Digefa winning the women's race, both athletes taking home sizable checks worth $200,000. But it wasn't all about the elite athletes and their prize money. A strong grassroots presence took part in both the marathon and the 10K races, some taking it more seriously than others.
Come from Sweden.
Nigeria.
Georgia. I flew into Dubai for this marathon specifically.
It's so fun, it's so good. You give the adrenaline, the kick.
It's always busy, the atmosphere is incredible. I only started running 10 years ago.
It's the first time I've done a 10K anywhere.
It's my fifth marathon.
This is my second marathon. This is my first year. This time I brought my 2 boys plus my husband.
وحاليا عمري 72 سنة وأنا أجري الماراثون من فترة طويلة.
Today I'm participating in the marathon to represent PCRF. It's a charity to basically help kids who have disabilities.
I like to run and I want to be fast at running. When you run, you feel like you go better and better each year.
I'm running for Breast Friends Al Jalila Foundation. They are fundraising to support women who are unprivileged or they don't have insurance. Myself, I'm also a survivor. That's why I would like to join this run.
It was amazing.
Fantastic. More than enjoying. It's really good.
A great experience. This is the first time for me. Extremely satisfied. I've been in roughly 1 million selfies.
I will be back in 2018. Yeah.
I'll be back next year, 2018. Hoping next year I'll go for the 10K.
Fantastic.
Dubai Marathon!
Happy Dubai and happy UAE.
And that concludes the 2017 Standard Chartered Dubai Marathon. Bekele defeated by the course yet again, yet for Tamarat Tola, no such problems. A course record broken in what was yet again an action-packed race against a stunning Dubai backdrop. See you next year.